there's going to have to be a reckoning. I believe it's going to be I believe it's going to be a gradual reckoning, like the reckoning I experienced in the 1970s, a 10-year reckoning. It'll be punctuated, I think, by one or more liquidity crises. My belief is the only way out of that is a good, honest default, which won't happen, or a dishonest default by way of reducing the purchasing power and hence the true cost of servicing the obligations.
So, reduce the purchasing power to effectively inflate away the liability. I mean, so rather than a default, would you call it like a bit of a reset?
Well, a gradual reset.
Yeah, a gradual reset.
Yeah. When people talk about resets to sell newsletters, what they're talking about is the overnight bankruptcy of the United States and all that. That's all horse pucky. I think what we're going to see is going to resemble very closely in that regard the decade of the 70s. There's a suggestion, not an unwise suggestion, that partly because of inflation, the return that you get on cash is sub-zero. In the U.S., you get paid, say, 4.5% in a currency that I believe is declining in purchasing power by 7.5% or 8% compounded. So you're losing 3% a year in savings. But I do it anyway, because I believe that there's a probability, not a certainty, but a probability of a crisis in confidence and a liquidity-driven event, a 2008 style event. And having cash will give me the tools and I hope the courage to take advantage of that circumstance as opposed to being taken advantage of by that circumstance. There are a lot of Americans, and I suspect a lot of Brits, who believe that their pension, given that it's sufficient to stand their lifestyle now, will stand their lifestyle 10 years from now. There are people who sort of believe that they're entitled to retire at 60 or 65, and who believe that society owes them another 30 years. And society's broke. The money to pay it is not there. And people need to confront that, and they need to make plans for how they get through the next 10 years that don't include 100% reliance on government. When people invest in themselves to the extent that they can do rudimentary securities analysis and understand what a business is worth, approximately, then they have a frame of reference as to whether a security is cheap or dear. They are not going to be able to do it by speculating on momentum or by owning companies because their price goes up when the investor himself or herself doesn't understand the basics of the business.